Hey everyone, and welcome to Women Who Rock the Rich Center. It's the show where we highlight a female member of the Rich Center team. Today we are joined by Alyssa Ritter. Alyssa, let's rock. Alyssa, can you tell us a little bit about your role at the Rich Center and how many years you've worked here?
Yeah, so I've actually worked at the Rich Center for 3 years now. I've worked two as a student employee, and this is my first year full time. I am a co-teacher in Mr. Scott's room, in a high school room, but I have worked out at St. Charles with students in grades K through 8. I worked intermediate here, so I feel I'm pretty well rounded here.
Yeah, really, that's a lot in 3 years that you've done, and we love our student employees, and we're so glad that you came on with us as an actual member of the staff. Why did you choose to come to the Rich Center and bring your skills here? Was there something specific that drew you to the center?
There was. I actually really enjoyed the collaboration between the teachers and the families here. I felt that, I wanted to be a part of that collaboration. I wanted to make an impact on whether it was a student or the family, giving a smile, making their day, just any way to collaborate with them.
Well, you're certainly doing that, and we love that you're here. You're doing a great job. Do you have a favorite memory or moment in your 3 years that you've been at the Rich Center, and why?
I do. I really, really enjoyed the Kennywood trip that we took. It was great seeing the families and the students out in the community, especially around, loud noises, other people. I just thought it was really great, and the teachers being involved there as well was just awesome.
The Kennywood trip is a big moment for us. The parents get really involved. The staff obviously help out a lot. It's a pretty intense outing, but everybody enjoys it. So it's great to hear that that's one of your favorites. Is there something that you'd like to tell people about autism who aren't familiar with what autism spectrum disorder is?
I think as a whole, with autism and disabilities in general, there is something to learn from every single one of them. There is not one student that I have not learned something from. Every day I come here and it's something new that I'm being taught from them, which I think is awesome.
That is the most common answer. I think we may have had like an answer along those lines every single time that I've done this. And it's just knowing that everybody's their own individual, whether you have autism or not. I mean, you just have to get to know somebody on a personal basis.
Absolutely.
How do you think we can increase awareness of what autism is and how it affects individuals and their families?
I think the best way possible is getting involved with groups. Obviously, like we do volunteer work here. There's the Autism Society of Mahoning Valley. They do different events around town that you can volunteer at, get involved with the families, the individuals. I think just putting yourself out there is the best way to be aware of it.
Be in the community. Don't hide in the shadows. No. Be out there. Be upfront about what autism is and help inform the community.
Absolutely.
Do you have a Rich Center success story featuring a classroom that you've worked with or a specific student that you'd like to share with us today?
I do. When I first came here full time, I was placed in a predominantly nonverbal class, and I had no idea how to work with nonverbals. I was very nervous. I was very concerned. I think my success story would be is at this point in my career, I have learned so many different ways to work with them and communicate with them, including them in conversations, helping them with their academics, which I think is pretty awesome.
And that ties all the way back to, I think it was like our third or fourth question, just knowing somebody as an individual.
Absolutely.
So a couple music-related questions now. As you may have heard, we have Rock the Rich Center happening May 31st, and both performers are women who literally rock. Do you yourself have a favorite female musician?
I do. I would have to say my favorite female musician is Doja Cat.
Why?
I just love her. She has a very funky style. She has a very funky beat to her music. I definitely feel it's going to put my age out there.
No, we've had such a wide variety answer to that question. That's great. I mean, I think that there's music for everybody.
I feel I'm very well rounded in that aspect. So
great answer. It doesn't have to be Doja Cat, but do you have a favorite song performed by a female artist? If it is, that's fine. But what would that song be?
So I would say it's probably not by Doja Cat. My favorite one by her would probably be Woman, but I really like Emotional Oranges, which is it's a male and female singer, but my favorite song from them is Personal.
Okay, I'm going to look them up. I haven't heard of them before, but I'm going to look them up, and I think you have good taste in music, so I'm sure I'm going to like it.
They're very modern R&B. So,
okay.
Yeah.
What is your favorite concert that you've ever attended in your life, and why?
Oh man, I've been to so many. I'd have to say probably, can I name more than one?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I'd have to say Alice Cooper.
Okay.
He's pretty awesome.
Sort of like a theater rock
It is.
concert. Yeah.
Dad and I go every time he's in town. My all-time favorite would probably have to be Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Very good. I've seen them as well.
They are, if you can go, I say.
It's like a Christmas
go.
must do.
It is. And they also interact with the crowd.
Mhm.
No matter where you're sitting, they're interacting. And lastly, I would have to say is Doja Cat.
What was the most recent one that you've seen?
My most recent would be Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Okay, cool, awesome. 3 great answers to that. And I really think that concludes the interview, but I want to leave the conversation open to you here at the end. Is there anything that we didn't discuss or that wasn't brought up that you'd like to let people watching this know about autism spectrum disorder or the Rich Center or anything in general?
I say if you have an opportunity, come out, check the Rich Center. It's pretty cool here. I think that's just about it.
Yeah, we are a center, so we are open. Get a hold of one of us, call our main office, send us an email, and we'd love to show people around and teach the community more about autism.
Mm-hmm.
Alyssa, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for the 3 years that you've been here at the center, and you rock.
Thank you.